Hey everyone, my name is Eric with the Cardinal Health Fitness Center staff, and welcome to Cubefit Stretch. Let's jump right into things and get things moving here. So let's first start out. We're going to do some arm circles to get our body loosened up. So let's go ahead, get in some big arm circles here. Loosen up that body, release some of that stress, some of that tension from the day. Open up that chest, that back, as well as those shoulder joints. So let's go ahead and move nice and easily through this motion here. In just a second, we're going to take it backwards and work the muscles in a reverse manner. Good. Let's go ahead, let's shake that out, and let's take that motion right on back, just like we're doing a big backstroke in the ocean or in a pool, really opening up that lats area as well as your shoulder blades. Remember to take deep breaths throughout the stretch. Relieve some of that tension, get those muscles to relax so we can really lengthen them out. Okay, next let's go ahead. We're just going to keep our arms loose, cross over. Let those arms go all the way back, really open up those shoulder blades. Again, nice dynamic, active stretch here as we're moving through. Remember, don't forget to take some nice long, deep breaths as we're working through here. Good. Next, we're going to focus up on the neck and shoulder region. So what we're going to do is 10 neck rolls to the right and then 10 to the left. So start with our chin down on our chest. Let's go ahead, rotate to the right, take it back, all the way to the left. Nice and easy. We're going to do 10 rotations on each side. Help loosen up the neck, our traps, which are the muscles that lead from your shoulders into the back of your neck, to help you get good range of motion, release some tension, some stress. Key here, take some deep breaths. You can close your eyes if you like. Try to let your shoulders relax down. Let's do about 2 more here. And last one. Good. Now let's start back to center. We're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to go in the opposite direction. Let your hands be loose. Let your shoulders drop. Chin on the chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Bring it all the way back. Right ear, right shoulder. And down. Nice and slow. 10 full rotations here. You might hear a little crackles and pops. If you're not experiencing any pain, that's completely normal. If you are, please stop right away. Again, try to let those shoulders relax. Close your eyes, de-stress a bit here, and follow along at home. Good, we got about 2 more rotations here. Good, and 1 more. Perfect. Next, let's focus on that neck region even more. So what we're going to do here is going to take our right hand, put it onto our left side, let our left hand hang down, and we're just slightly going to apply some pressure to that left side of the head, stretching out the back side of our neck. Again, working on that trap and that shoulder region. So I'm not forcing my head down, I'm just slightly applying some pressure, letting my left hand, my shoulder drop down, really accentuating, getting a nice stretch through that left portion of my neck. Every time you take a big inhale, and as you exhale, you want to apply a little bit more pressure. With that top hand, again, I'm not yanking down, I'm just slightly applying some pressure. Good. Let's go ahead, come back to center. We're going to do the same thing just on the other side. So left hand comes up, right side of the head, drop that right shoulder down. Trying to get that air over to the shoulder, really focusing on stretching that right side of the neck. Taking some deep breaths. You can close your eyes if you like. That's going to help you release some of that tension. Let's lengthen out those muscles the best we can. Good. Okay, let's come up to center. Next, what I want you to do is put your hands on your waist, and we're simply just going to look left and right, nice and slow. Each time we're just trying to look a little bit further, trying to get a little bit more range of motion into the neck. Oftentimes we're sitting over our phones or our keyboards, computers at home, and we're stuck in a stiff position. This is going to help get our full range of motion back, as well as promote some blood flow up into the brain to help you finish out the rest of your day. Nice and slow. If you're getting dizzy at any point, feel free to stop. Again, you're not whipping your head around, you're just going nice and slow here. Good, we'll do 2 more. 1 to the left, 1 to the right. Awesome job. Next, we're going to work on our shoulders as well as our triceps. So let's take one arm across, take the other hand, tuck it right behind that elbow, and you're just going to slightly pull that arm back towards your body. This is going to stretch all the muscles in your shoulder joint, a little bit in the back, as well as your triceps. So go ahead, take some deep breaths here. Bring that arm into the body, almost like we're hugging it into the body here. We'll go ahead and hang out in this position. Take some deep breaths, taking this time to take care of ourselves. Take some really strong breaths. You can close your eyes as well. Let's drop that down. Go ahead and cross over to the other side. So my wrist is right under that elbow area as I'm pulling across. And I'm not really forcing anything. I'm just, getting a good stretch from the back of my shoulder all the way through my arm. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and drop that down. Let's head down to the floor next. We're going to stretch out some of our legs area as well as our back. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to do our runner stretch to help stretch out our hip flexors here. So what we're going to do next, we're going to drop down on one knee. So I got my left knee nice and bent. My back shin is flat on the ground. I have good posture up top, and I'm slightly leaning forward. You're going to feel a nice, great stretch right through that hip flexor area. The more we sit nowadays, the more that tends to shorten up. And what happens is that pulls your pelvis forward, which can create a lot of lower back pain. So it's very important you feel a nice pull here to stretch this muscle daily. Very small muscle, but has a big impact and crucial importance within the body. So I'm not really jamming my waist forward here. I'm just slightly leaning forward. I'm not rolling over at the waist. I'm staying in good posture and just pushing with the hips just slightly so I can feel some of that tension right in that hip flexor. Taking some deep breaths again. Just relaxing in this position. We're trying to really get that muscle to relax and let go. One more deep breath and we'll go ahead and switch sides. Awesome work. Let's go ahead and switch on over. So now the right leg's going to be up and bent in front. Again, my left knee's bent, my shin is flat down, my shoelaces are on the ground, my toe is pointing straight back. Good posture up top again. And you're just feeling a little slight pull in that hip area, which is perfectly fine. That's what we're looking for. Take some deep breaths. Slightly lean forward with the hips, not with the chest. So stay upright, but push forward with those hips. Just relax as we work through this stretch here. One more breath, and then we'll move into another stretch. Good. Next, what we do, we're going to stay on the floor. We're going to work on what's called the pigeon stretch. So what you're going to do is put your left leg back, all the way back, straight back. You're going to bend your front knee here. You can keep it back on an angle if you're not so flexible like myself. Or, the better way to do it is to keep your shin nice and parallel, nice and straight. What we're going to do here is put our hands on the floor, take some deep breaths. Every time I exhale, I'm trying to lean up over that knee a little bit further down towards the ground. You're going to feel a nice, great stretch on that back hip in that glute area. So let's go ahead and work through it. Deep breaths. Also feel free to work on an angle over to your left. If you feel a better stretch over in this area here, you can keep it dead center, or you can work over to your right. This can be very uncomfortable if you've been doing a lot of sitting, but you feel a lot better once we stand up and loosen up again. So each time, deep breath. I'm trying to sink my chest and reach further and further over that front leg. 2 more deep breaths and we'll switch sides here. Great work. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So now my left knee's coming forward, my right leg is going straight back. Again, my knee's going to be bent. I'm working in a modified angle here. If you want to do it in a different way or the proper way, you would have your shin nice and parallel here. If you're more flexible, but at the same time, here's a modified version here as we work through leaning forward, taking some deep breaths. Great stretch for the hips. This will help out your lower back. Taking deep breaths again. If you're experiencing a lot of pain or tightness or stiffness in this position, this is something good to do daily. Remember, the deeper the breaths, the more your body's going to relax, the more you'll get out of that stretch. 2 more deep breaths with me now. Nice work. Okay, let's come on to that stretch nice and slow here. I'm just going to put my mat sideways. We're going to lay flat on our back. What we're going to do here, you can pick a leg, any leg. Well, obviously, we have 2 to pick from, so one of your choice. I'm going to keep my right leg straight, grab my left knee, and just pull that up and towards the center of my chest. This can help stretch out that lower back through my glutes into my hamstring. So let's go ahead and take some deep breaths, hang on this position. Again, I'm not jamming that knee up, I'm just giving it some assistance to come up. You want to pull up and towards the center of your body. It's really going to help loosen up those hips and lower back. One more deep breath, we'll go ahead and switch sides. Good, go ahead, drop that leg down. Let's take that other leg up nice and easy here, grab them by the knee into that shin region, and we're just pulling that up. You might find one side's a little tighter than the other, it's completely fine. Getting those deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good, let's come out of that position nice and slow here, just so we don't get any dizziness. What we'll do next is we're going to stretch our quads. We essentially do this through a lot of our Cubefit stretches, or at least in my classes. What we're going to do is get those shoelaces on the top of the feet nice and flat. If you are tight in your quads, I recommend putting a pillow in between the back of your calf and your hamstring here. And all I'm going to do is simply just sit back onto those heels. And I'm going to slowly rock left to right. This is going to essentially stretch the top of my foot, my ankle joint, through my shin, through my quads, all the way up to my glutes. I'm just going to hang out in this position. Again, if this is too painful for some folks, you can stuff a pillow underneath so you're up a little bit higher, a towel, a blanket, something like that. This is really going to help open up those quads. If you've had a tough workout, if you're just tight from sitting, this is a very easy one to do while you're watching TV or Netflix or the news or whatever you're watching nowadays. Little rock left to right here will really loosen things up for you. Again, focus on that breathing. 2 more deep breaths here. And 1 more deep breath. Nice work. Let's come up nice and slow here. We're going to stretch out our hamstrings, then our wrists, and then we'll be done for the day. So what I'm going to do next, take a nice big wide stance, and I'm slowly just going to bend at the waist, exhaling as I sink down towards the floor. I want to feel a great stretch through my hamstrings and my glutes and my lower back. Let those arms be loose. If you can't touch the floor, that's completely fine. You can hang out in this position. You can also put your arms in like a cradle position. This will help get you lower to the ground. You can kind of rock back and forth here. You'll feel a nice stretch in that lower back. Go ahead and hang out in this position for a few seconds while we take some deep breaths. Drop that head down with you. One more deep breath, and then we'll come up nice and slow. All right, let's come out of that one nice and slow. Make sure to bend your knees so we're not getting any dizziness. Let's work on our wrists and our forearm to finish off. So what we're going to do first here, we're going to just do some circles with our hands, basically working on the range of motion in the joint of our hands and our wrists. This is really important to do now that we're doing more texting and typing than ever. We're using the mouse on our computers. Good, let's go reverse circles. Awesome. Next, what I want you to do is take one hand like a stop sign, take the other hand pulling those fingers straight back. This is really going to help open up that forearm muscle cavern there, which tends to get tight, which can cause some tendonitis in the elbow, carpal tunnel, things like that. So again, not jamming the fingers back, I'm just putting some nice slight pressure on them. Good. And then let's go down with that hand, pulling those fingers coming back, stretching the top portion of the forearm here. All right, good. Let's hop over to the other side. Pull back on those fingers. Good. And drop that hand down, pull those fingers back towards the body. Good. All right, that completes our Cubefit stretch for the day. Thanks for joining me today. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.